Good evening, curling fans here at the Utica Curling Club. This is the Utica Curling Channel. I'm Roger Roulette. I'm here with Michelle McEnroe.
Hello, hello, hello.
There you are.
I'm on a different pod. Gotcha.
Yep. And we're here to bring you Draw 12 of the U.S. Women's Curling Association National Bonspiel. This is Draw 12, only 2 to go. And our feature game this evening will be a B event game between Composite West and Detroit 1. We've seen them both a little bit earlier in this event, so chance to take a look at them again.
This will be a little more relaxing evening for me on sheet 3 than last night certainly was.
There you go.
It's kind of nice being on this side of the glass.
So Composite West, skipped by Katie Feldman, will have the Red Rocks, and Detroit 1.
And the first rock is slipped into the top 8 foot. And Detroit, skipped by Melissa Turbo, is going to be a little aggressive here. She's going right for the corner guard.
These are all loser-out games, so lout games. They're winnowing the field. We have 2 games in the morning in the C event, and then we'll have our 4 finalists, A, B, C, and D events. Will go off at 11:30.
And we have a nice corner guard on the 4-foot line, maybe a little close to center, but still very, very usable. Looks like we have a little disagreement on the ice about whether or not to sweep this rock. It looks like a little strong, perhaps, for a center guard. And it is a little strong. She has a bit of a split. So red or yellow is now sitting 2 with one more than half buried behind the corner. Okay, the skip is indicated. The lead shot might have been a little full on the broom. The goal was the corner freeze on the shot behind the corner guard. And that is now 3rd shot, just a little strong. A little less weight, it probably would have curled up very nicely behind that yellow rock. We did just have a scrape by our incredibly able and talented volunteer ice crew. I expect the ice to be pretty slick. So we're gonna get our in lieu of my curling stopwatch, I've got my trusty cell phone. We're going to try and see what kind of hog-to-hog times we're going to get. I'm guessing.
I brought a real stopwatch today, so if I use this, I can guarantee they'll start throwing hits. So.
You guarantee you forget your umbrella. It's also going to rain.
There you go.
So, oh my goodness, look at that.
See, there you are.
There you are, right?
I picked up my stopwatch, and we're going to peel a guard.
All right. Gotta hit this kind of high with weight, otherwise it's going to go sideways into that blue guard next to it. Looks pretty good. They got to roll the shooter away. Very nicely done.
Yes, we discovered in an earlier game Stephanie Whitmore can bring the weight.
Always good in a second. Now, do we know which West clubs these ladies are from? Because it's a composite West team, which generally indicates they're from multiple clubs in the Western District. See a lot of wine country t-shirts, and I can totally get behind that curling club.
I think I looked on their sheet and they all said wine country, so
All right.
I'll see if I can find them in my media participation or participant information here. Well, they all list Wine Country Curling as their home club.
Mm-hmm.
So Katie Feldman, the skip, is from Sacramento. She's been curling 8 years.
All right.
Megan Groh, the third, has also been curling 8 years. Eileen Barbary, and she's from Phoenix.
Originally, yeah.
Yeah. Eileen Barbary is from Loomis, curling for 4 years.
Wow.
And Leanne Shearing is from Rockland. She's been curling for 2 years.
Oh, that's really great. All right, we got a very wide intern draw coming down. Let's see what my speed is. If I can remember to hit the old lap button. I got 13.3 with the wide in. That sounds right.
A little slow.
Yeah, but yeah, it would be expected.
First end.
On the outside, yeah.
And Detroit shot in the back.
No, I don't know. I think that yellow counter.
Oh, it could be. It's
Jeez,
close. Yeah,
yeah.
it is close.
That really took a turn there. 13 flat. That might be a little strong down the center. Yeah, just
through the house weight.
Just through with sweeping. So let's see, 13.
Around 13.5, 13.7 a tee, I would say. About 24 seconds.
If you throw,
Hard to stop.
if you throw 14, your sweepers can have some fun with it. And as my teams know, I love it. I mean, abusing my sweepers.
That's what they're there for.
That's what, if they don't sweep, they feel unwanted. Well, that one was a 14.7. So, yeah, that's going to come up a little short of the wings. Okay, good. It's consistent. So we're probably looking for a 13.57. That sounds good. We have two skips working watches here at the broadcast booth.
It means we're definitely destined to disagree. So
it's going to be very wrong. Definitely have two different opinions.
This weight looks right, whatever the time is.
14.4.
I got 15.2.
See, exactly
There you
so. Oh, that's a beauty. She's got a piece of the 4. That's a great shot.
I think her ice is up to speed.
Yeah, it does. Last night, I did notice it came up pretty fast. I mean, we had a center path. We had to throw 4-0s. It was pretty insane. However, I somehow never got to throw that path. Everybody else did, though. That
So
is.
on a typical night here, we're probably getting about 15 plus hog to hog. And I would say most of our team with fairly positive releases are throwing somewhere between 4.0 and 4.10 mid-game.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult. She's going to have to come behind or next to this rock. If she comes to the top, even corner frozen, it's tough to be shot. She'll have to be either next to it, side by side, or even slightly behind. if she does that, she will be shot.
Yeah, she could tuck in behind this blue.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think if you want to be shot in front, you'll be to the side and it'll be open. Got to come off the corner guard.
Oh,
There it goes.
If the weight's right, it'll move. 13-7. Should be pretty good.
Just skinnied the corner guard.
They gotta go. That's a lovely shot. It could be they are shot. It's
Pretty
very
close.
difficult to see. But I think that they are. But it's such a good spot, it's going to be difficult to remove. In common parlance, we call that a danger rock. It's really difficult to do anything to remove it from its spot, but yet if you try to tap that blue behind, then they can tap their yellow onto you. So it's
You're very likely to remove your own second stone as well.
Right. Yeah, in this setup, absolutely.
You have to get all the way to nose. I think there's room. It's pretty delicate.
And yeah, the thing is, even if you sit on that your back third stone or fourth stone, we're not sure which, you may actually, no, you probably won't be, you'll still be an out, you'll out count, so.
Not quite sure where they're going here.
I'm wondering if they're not throwing a guard.
If so, they must think they're shot.
Or they just don't want to make it, they're willing to just sacrifice the one here and not give them an opportunity to make it worse. This looks very guardish. 14-3 on the outside. Yep, that's a guard. Definitely up to speed. 26. Kind of, if I can't have a shot, well, then neither can you.
Yep, guard it back.
There's certainly a lot of granite in play. I think there's only, there's only 3 blue stones in the crib. I think everything else is in play. I'm not sure what our call is here. I don't see a port to come through.
Just another guard.
A guard on the raise. Yep.
Yep.
It overcurled.
So the raise is still there if they want to play it. Got a good angle now.
Yeah, they're gonna have to cross. They have to go straight back on this. You don't want to touch that yellow rock in the 4-foot. I think if you do that, the question becomes moot because it'll be pretty obvious.
I think they want to go there. Angle raise right onto that one. Drive that one back. Try to get a deuce.
That's one way to do it.
Risky.
No guts, no glory, right? However, they are using valuable time here. And having played on a clock, it is in your head. It's in the back of your head. The night we were talking about this earlier, in that playing on the clock is nice in a way because as a skip, it does clarify your decision making.
Well, you hope it does anyway.
Well, yeah, you hope it does. I mean, there's no, like in league play, there's no asking, do you want to do this or that? Nope. We're doing X, we're doing Y, we're doing Z.
Now, change the shot. We're going to throw an in-turn.
An in-turn draw?
Maybe, hopefully, coming to their blue stone to tap it up.
Yep.
Not sure
That line
there's
is
enough curl there, but probably can't hurt themselves with this line.
Those are famous last words. I don't think I can hurt myself by doing this shot. Oh, she came
pretty close.
She really did. And she missed the guards, I think, by quite a bit.
Yep, could have played tighter ice there. It might have been possible. We might have our first measure of this draw. And we are.
And we do. Sheet 3, the sheet of measures. And they're
Yep.
always at the way end. They're never at the close end. And the head official, she's right there, right on the spot.
Anticipating. Hey, this will be a great time to introduce our Composite West team. So we've introduced the players to you. So Katie Feldman, as we mentioned, is the skip. When she's not curling, she listens to Taylor Swift driving to and from one end of Sacramento to the other every day while listening to audiobooks. She says hello to Melissa, David, and Laura, and Megan Groh the third. She says hello to Kent and the team, and Bright, I guess
Yes.
it says, yes. Having a hard time reading. We're going punchy up here. This is our, did I mention this is draw 12?
I think you said that. Let's see, it says, oh, and the team at Bright.
Oh, the team at Bright.
Yeah, that's an outside, yep.
Okay. Eileen Barbary.
It is yellow, by the way. It was yellow.
All right. So good eyes. So 1-0 for Composite West.
The blind skip finds a scroll. What can I tell you?
And Detroit with the Blue Rocks will retain the hammer here in the second end. So Eileen Barbary, their second. When she's not curling, she likes to quilt and work. She's an engineer. Of course she would like to work, right?
Well, yeah.
Like the rest of us geeks and scientists and computer scientists and whatnot. She says...
but she's the kind that actually doesn't like to do her job when she's not at her job.
There you go.
I don't like doing my job when I'm not at my job. I'll do it for friends and family, but I will do everything but my job.
And she says hello to Mom and Dad. And then we have Leanne Shearing. When she's not curling, she plays golf badly. Well, I can identify with that.
I think we all can.
Yeah, crochet. And reads a lot. Okay.
I get that too.
And she says hello to Michael Quidera. There you go. That's your Composite West team.
So Wine Country Curling Club, according to my friend Google, actually curls out of Sacramento.
There you go.
And they're part of the Mountain Pacific Curling Region. They're part of MOPAC is the acronym that gets used. So that's pretty cool. Another reason to visit Wine Country, although Wine Country is kind of far from. I don't remember Sacramento, having gone there about 15 years ago, being very close to Napa and whatnot, but course, there was a lot of wine, so my memory might not be that good.
It's closer than New York. That we know.
Well, yeah.
I think this is a very steamy draw. I think it is very optimistic that that will stop in the 4-foot.
This looks one of mine draws on occasion. Yep.
A whizzer.
It's a drive-through. I'd like a burger, a fry, and a large
There
Coke.
you go.
And we're asking for draw behind the corner here from Jenny Levy. And that's coming down. That should stay in the rings. This got a little full on the line. I think it would have caught more curl.
Mostly buried, but behind tee line.
It's about half. I'm looking at the monitors. About half buried, at most. We've got pretty good cameras. Roger and his team installed. We have our long view cameras, which allow you to look at the house like as if you were the person in the hack throwing. And we can see that here. And we have we call them the bullseye camera, the house cameras, where they're, according to what I heard last night, I mounted those directly over the pin.
They are within a half inch. They were within a half inch of being centered on the pin.
And this is a lovely shot. Very nice weight. And when you're trying to steal, you can't always be taking things out of the rings. Because if other rocks are behind yours, it makes them that much harder to remove. And it's a subtlety that gets lost in translation a lot.
The newer skips like to take things out.
And newer curlers sometimes get disappointed. Oh, I didn't take the rock out. I missed my shot. And, oh, wow. They whiskered by that one.
And lovely.
Very nice. That's the nerves of steel on the skip's part, calling me up.
That was a little closer than I would have called it.
I don't think so. I've got him laughing so hard he's coughing. So I always reassure those new curlers, like, no, I'll tell you later why this is a good shot. We can't do it at that moment in time during the game. It slows down the game, but we can tell you why that was good.
So another freeze coming.
There's a lot of curl. Look at that. That one's jumping over. I don't know if they're getting this one by.
Not a ton of rotation on this stone.
Yep. Kind of going sideways, yeah.
A little extra curl. That was maybe 2 rotations.
Yeah. All right. The rocks have been, they were sharpened a couple months ago, right? During the winter break?
Yep, right over the Christmas break.
You know, and we got this, you know, the ice that we endeavor to make is fast and as predictable as we can. And you put those 2 factors together, and you really need to put a good rotation.
They don't break in nearly as fast now. We're only curling at about 2/3 of our capacity during this kind of pandemic year. So they don't get it quite as much play.
Now this is a lovely rotation, and she's still getting a nice curl. She may not get to the shot she wants, but it was a very nicely delivered rock.
Just through the ring's weight.
Yep. You know, and there are quote-unquote pro curlers that you will hear mentioned on broadcast, and they'll say, so-and-so, I think Mike McEwen is one of them, who characteristically throws a light handle. And you'll hear other curlers say, oh, he can make his rocks curl. It's because he's not putting a handle. A strong handle on the rock is, say, a John Epping.
Or you look at Rachel Holman's team.
Yes.
They're consistently this year putting, 5 rotations on.
Right. And this was actually trying to go sideways.
Yep, and again, fairly light handle on that. The risk is that they'll pick.
Yes.
If you don't have enough rotation, they'll start to lose that rotation.
Well, I have a saying, and you know, you're curling and you're doing all you can, and you see these light handles come down and get these incredible curls and sideways movements, and I'll calm down my team and say, hey, you live by the flat handle and you're going to die by it. You're going to have it go sideways and in an unintended direction at the worst possible moment.
And Detroit's just a little on the heavy side on these
Just a little strong.
come-arounds. So they're not catching the curl.
Yeah, throwing through the curl. Yep. Yeah, that was hackish, I think.
Yep, and it was pretty strong.
Although I think she did indicate she wanted that weight. I saw her, tap her hips, like she wanted some upper weight before that rock was delivered.
There's no reason to throw a lot of weight at that stone. You're not getting rid of it.
No, you just want to
And it's
it.
behind T-line, so
Right.
freezing to it or drawing above it is fine.
Right. And again, this is that new mixed doubles discipline really encourages and emphasizes is the placement of your rocks, how hard you need to throw yours to move a rock.
And learning how to throw that intermediate weight,
Yes.
which is a distinguishing feature of winning teams, is being able to throw a variety of weights
Right.
to get different trajectories into the house or into target rocks.
And to control your shooter, which is
It's very important to keep shooters around.
most of the time, yes.
And another one just a little quick. It looks like the ice has got to be up to normal speed here.
I think it was up to speed toward the end of last end.
And again, another
Hack waiter.
through the house waiter there. Well, even our own club members have had a hard time adjusting to some of the speed once we got our dehumidifiers fixed, which made a huge difference.
Oh, yes.
The ice speed jumped by about 1.5 seconds. And I think the ice makers and our members decided they actually liked it.
Apparently there's something going on another sheet.
Didn't quite see. I have to move my monitors to get a view.
No, apparently there's something exciting going on. And that's
Somebody put a poster up right in my view.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, I think I may have given some ideas about strategically placed whiteboards during games. We had our mixed event, and one of a team out in Schenectady. There were two Schenectady teams playing each other, and one of their supporters put up a whiteboard facing the ice that said "Go Schenectady," which I always thought very entertaining because it was guaranteed a Schenectady team was going to win that game.
For sure.
They were definitely the life of the. Aside from the team we sat with from Burlington, there's your shout out to the nice folks that we sat with. They were certainly lively. All right, Melissa's got to throw the wide in turn. She's got backing. However, this is an unknown line. I don't think any rocks have come down this line.
There appears to be plenty of room, however.
I believe so. And this side definitely curls. Actually, both sides of three, they've got them curling pretty good.
This used to be the straight side, but I think they fixed that.
Yep.
Watching the games earlier this week.
She might be, nope. If her weight is good, she's by the guards.
They clear the guards by a pretty wide margin.
Oh, it's starting to move a little. Oh, it's looking very nice. They got to get it there.
Starting to dig in, 13-4, so it's definitely a little slow on this side. And that looks like
I believe that's a winner.
That shot rock. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Let's see. Unfortunately, these darn vices or these darn team members are in the way of our camera.
Well, it's definitely shot. I think there's still more room. They got by the guard by a pretty wide margin.
What I've noticed with these, having thrown a few last night, with these wide throws is as they approach the house, they really dig in and turn over. And you don't want to sweep them early. You don't want to pull that line out. But yet you do need to keep them going. So it's kind of a trade-off.
Well, if you need distance, you need to go early.
Right.
Then you definitely need to let it take the break before you finish it. The break on this line has been quite late. It's actually inside the hog.
Yeah, I would say it's about where that blue guard is, depth-wise. Yep, just before there. Oh, this looks really nice if it has the legs. Oh, that's a great line.
You can almost get the pin from there.
Well, not anymore, unfortunately.
Not now.
But yeah, that was all there.
That line was to the button.
And this is Hammerstone for Melissa for 2.
Needs a piece of the 4, a good piece of the 4.
Oh yeah, work at the overhead, and I'd say it's blue. It is hard to see.
Oh, that blue's definitely shot.
Yeah.
So this is a draw for 2. We need a good chunk of the 4. I'll count that yellow rock in the back 4.
At least half 4, yep.
Last rock, second inch.
She might be a little tight on line here. She's tight on line.
Plenty of room.
Just a little strong.
13-2, that won't stay around. It'll be a single for Detroit. They tied the game, but lose the hammer to Composite West.
We have an 8-end game. It's tied 1-1 after 2 ends, so now it's an 8-end game.
The front end won't be impressed. They're still going to sweep 10 ends. I think by this stage of the week, both front ends are hoping for a 6-end blowout.
Oh yeah. And honestly, skips are too, because there's a lot of concentration that goes on. I know it looks like we're just standing around yelling at people, and sometimes that is true. But you're juggling a lot of stuff in your head, and you're hoping not to drop too many of those balls. Oh, and yes, any of those tuning in, feel free to chime in on the chat. Roger's got his fingers on the keys, responding to all your chat requests as I look over his arm as he types. Okay.
We look forward to hearing from people in the chat room. If you're enjoying the coverage, let us know. If you hate the coverage, let us know. We're tough.
If you hate the coverage, I don't know about that. I'm a skip. I get enough abuse. Okay. Leanne is she's trying to wrap around. The center guard that was put up by Detroit won. It looks pretty nice. It looks very nice. It is just a little strong. It's in the back 4. It's behind T-line. So Detroit's asking Jenny to, you put up the guard, now let's throw the rock in that we're gonna guard.
Yeah, we mentioned in the earlier broadcast, Jenny Levy's a very good mixed doubles player.
Oh, yes.
She and her husband, Ben, they won the Triangle mixed doubles event this year.
Oh, that's right. I was watching
Yeah.
you guys. That's why the name is familiar.
Yeah,
Okie
and
dokie.
we had to go through the year before when we won it, so.
This looks like a dandy. This
It
looks
is
nice.
very nice.
That's a mixed double shot, people. That's exactly right. And let me tell you, those folks who don't think lead is important, the lead sets the table, and if there's no table to set, if you don't set the table, then we're not eating.
The meal is meager when the lead doesn't set the table. Let's just say that. Hard to manufacture a deuce with 6 rocks against 8.
Right. Unless you get a lot of misses from the other team, and you never, ever count on that.
They don't cooperate usually, is what I've found. Is the other team is
right? What's up with that?
They really don't want to help.
Oh, just a little overthrowing here. You know, and announcing and watching this game is curling as long as I have, 23 years or so. You do it this long, you've probably committed every curling sin, and you're probably still, I know I'm still doing several.
Oh, repeatedly, I think.
Yeah, thanks. Pot calling kettle. So we see it, we know it, we've all been there. And you really want to recognize it the millisecond before you do it. And this is a very interesting event. It's a true competitive type of event in that the draw, you're guaranteed 4 games. And the 4th game, if you lose, no matter where you are in the draw, you are out. In other events, if you're in an A bracket and you lose, there's generally some sort of consolation that you go to after your guaranteed number of games. Not so in this event. This looks really good. That's money.
Shot rock.
Yep. And Stephanie's being asked to come with some weight.
Gotta move. Got a lot of moving to do. There it goes.
She's throwing that nice control weight.
Want to keep the shooter around.
It is hanging around. It's last shot in the rings, but it is around. Unfortunately, she took it at such an angle where she jammed on another rock that was hanging in the rings. So there's kind of a bit of a wall of 2 bricks behind the 4-foot line that's being built right now. Here it comes. Okay, Melissa's asking for Diane to remove this one out. Oh, Diana, sorry about that. That's a lovely, lovely shot. However, there is a double back, and you will save your shooter. Depending on the angle, you may lose the yellow rock as well. Hit correctly, you won't. Hit incorrectly, you may. And Megan's rock is underway. We're waiting for the curl here. Here it comes. She's looking for the single, I guess. Nope. She got them both, and she did move the yellow rock. So, oh, that's great.
Beautiful.
That's great. It's very flat. The double is there, very, very strong. You'd have to.
It's a thick half.
It's a thick half. You'd probably come with the in-turn.
Yeah, get some action.
Well, you want to come with the in-turn to cross the face because you don't want a lot of action off that hit rock. It might go too steeply behind. So I'm thinking the flat rolls may be better here.
Well, if you hit it, you can hit it a little thicker with the action turn. So if you throw the in-turn at this, you can hit it a little thicker. If you throw the...
I was saying, no, you mean the out-turn.
The out-turn, yes.
You mean the out-turn. I'm saying the in-turn cross. You're saying the out-turn with action.
Right.
Yep, okay. Potato, potato.
Throw the in-turn a little bit thinner.
You can throw less weight with the in, too, because you're going to get the action.
Yep.
But she's calling the other way. And remember, execution beats everything. Execution beats a great plan and great technique. Execution
trumps strategy.
pretty much every day.
Threw this out.
Oh, yeah. A little strong.
Got her a little wide there.
The weight was real nice. It wasn't super heavy. Just got a little strong with it. A little outside with it. Hang on.
Oh, they're just gliding now.
It's amazing because you think you're throwing it so quietly, and they just will not stop.
That is a great rock.
It is. That is really good. No triple. Angles aren't quite right. And Detroit is now in damage control mode, I would say. Hoping to give up no more than 2.
Detroit's under a little bit of pressure here. Looking at 3 Composite West stones. Looks like we're going after run double here.
I think it's over curling for that. Oh no, hopefully she gets a roll onto that other yellow.
Might go over the top. Very nice.
That's actually a really nice, difficult to remove.
Almost had a perfect roll on top of the
shot
yellow stone on the outside.
Very good damage control.
Rolled a little too far, but it is second shot.
It is tricky to remove because you get a little outside on this and your back yellow is gone. Even though you don't want to count on it, it is nice to have.
I like the little hit and roll here to sit 3.
I think they're thinking, are they thinking hit, or I thought they were looking at draw. They're looking at a draw. That looks like the broom placement. Yep. We'll update you on the other sheets after this end. I think would probably be a good time to do that.
It looks like we've got some more scores coming in. We've only got 4 sheets going this evening. We'll have 2 sheets in the morning. And then 4 at the finals at 11:30.
I am glad that there was not streaming when I did this 10 years ago. But then again, no one ever streams the 4th event, so that's okay. All right, this rock is out there. We're not sure it will curl up here. It tends not to, but this one actually is. They're working it best they can. Oh, the line was excellent.
That was way wide, and it came back.
A lot, and it was right on line for what they wanted. It just didn't quite have the steam to get there. And I think Melissa's doing, she wants that skips draw. She's looking for shot rock behind that corner guard.
So an in-turn draw to 6 shot. Get behind.
I think it's sweepers are dusting on this.
It doesn't look like it needs sweeping for weight.
I'm
Line
not
only.
sure that it does. Yep, they're trying to directionally sweep it, it looks like. Now they're off of it because they think it's long, and it is definitely, unfortunately, long. It is back 12.
And you can't directionally sweep a heavy rock.
I know, not that close. So this is a, that's what I call one of the free draw. That's a skip. These are the ones, you really want to make these because these are points you do not want to leave on the table.
Yep, these are the extras.
The freebies. Or would that be friendlies?
Want to collect your extras. So often the extras you don't collect come back to bite.
Oh, like the friendly little biters.
Mm-hmm. Last rock, third end. Katie Feldman looking
To put her
collect her deuce.
To put her mixed doubles experience into play here. The sweepers aren't touching this. They either like it or there's no use sweeping it because it's already heavy. So we're going to find out what's going on here. It looks like it's cruising a bit, but it's coming down.
Is it going to stop in time?
I believe so.
It's got to stop in time. And it just stops in the back 4. That'll be a deuce.
That's another mixed double shot. Well thrown. Okay, so we're going to update you while we have our break between ends here on sheet 2, which is, I think, a C semi, right?
D semi.
D or C? It's a D? Okay.
It's a D.
We have Madison up after 3 ends, 7 over Composite Wisconsin, 1. And I learned last night, do not leave the Composite Wisconsin skip anything to draw to. Anything, because she will make it. Sheet 4, we have Bowling Green over 3-1 over Circle City. And on sheet 5, we have St. Paul 2 over Denver 1. After 2, they're finishing up the third end right now. Here comes Leanne with her first lead rock. Oh, here's another light handle. It's going sideways here. Detroit wants their deuce, so they're going to set up their corners. And it looks like St. Paul got 3 on sheet 5, so they're now up 5-1 over Denver. They just hung the score.
Yeah, the St. Paul skip is another skip you want to give nothing.
Yeah, we saw that
for a draw.
We saw that.
Freeze.
My other broadcast of this tournament. We were calling that game. They were playing Charlotte, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
The very light handle. It's definitely sliding sideways here. Now we're switching gears. We're asking for a draw around the center. Sweepers are working this. It looks like there's a real hard break there. We've seen a few rocks come down there, and when the weight comes off, they're just going sideways.
Basically, you want to put them in a house.
All right, we've got to come around here. Asked.
You can't throw a run double, then it's useless. You're going to chase 2 rocks.
Eileen's trying to come around here. It looks pretty decent here. It just needs to choke up and stop and witch it. Say it, and it will happen. Just a little deep, but still, it's a really nice line. As a skip, you're going to want to remember that. You may need to do it. And Melissa's asking that of Stephanie. She'd like a nice draw around. And as a thrower, the nice thing to hear when you're throwing a draw is you have backing. Frankly, as a skip, those are 3 of my favorite words. Yep, I think they need to sweep this. The weight's coming off a lot. Oh, no. I think she's got a piece of that. Oh, thought she was by the yellow, but they can maneuver this blue rock into a very good place.
We tend to throw hack weight. They throw back range weight. Back range weight's not going to do it. With our stones on ours. So we have to maintain this against a team like
And Eileen's being asked to come around again. However, this is a kind of a tight line. I'm not sure if they're around all these guards.
6 inches from the boards.
Oh. She's moved that guard more over toward the center. She's opened it up a little bit here. She's calling for hit weight, it looks like. She's calling a tight hit weight for Stephanie. So let's see what happens here with Stephanie. This ice will curl. They're going to have to be up and down on this line. However, the line looks a little tight. This is really curling a lot.
Wow.
I mean, oh, the rocks are incredibly curling. And that's definitely the curling side of the ice. So Katie Feldman is asking Megan to wrap around top 4. Now she's trying to steal, so pro side miss here is short. And again, we see a very light handle on this rock, which makes it a little bit unpredictable. But the weight is absolutely gorgeous.
Got to a good spot.
It's lovely. Now here's where my crazy skip thinking comes into play, and I'm looking at my blue rock, and that's gonna be my desperation rock, because I can come off of that into that shot rock all day long.
Or you could play an angle raise if you need. You got a couple of things you can do with it.
You can do with it. Hopefully you keep it around, but you got to keep something around.
That guard is very high, though. I think you can come around and tap. You just got to be able to throw finesse weight here.
I think coming at that top, the rock in the top 4, I think you're better coming with the intern.
Yep, there you can see a quarter.
Out.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see a quarter stone.
I'm trying to get this to curl, but there's a lot of weight getting thrown here, and it's got to clear that blue or it's going to go right over the top. Oh, no, she got it nice and thin, so she kind of did what I said.
Yep, got the N off.
That's the Skip's B plan. Oh, she's doing her release, her delivery motion, I think is what she's communicating.
Little push out.
I know nothing about that.
No, not at all. It's a feature of my delivery, so I just deal with it.
And I think in computers we call that an undocumented feature.
Yes.
Yes. See, Roger gets the fun. He's got Dave Greg Nolan, who's sort of his partner in crime for a lot of these broadcasts, and he and Dave curl together somewhat in the men's leagues competitively, and I'm his vice on our mixed team competitively. So we've got a lot of these anecdotes and little kind of jesting jokes that kind of go between us. So it's always a little bit of fun here.
And no secrets between all our basic delivery foibles. So.
And I'm kind of a person. If I'm gonna be the first person to make fun of myself before you get the chance. And it looks like Diana's rock might be a little strong. It needs to check up, and it is trying. It's just a little full here. Might be on the backing.
Everyone's missing just a little bit on the heavy side. Just running so quick.
But all in all, honestly, it's not a bad outcome. It is third shot, which is in this, when you don't have hammer, not a bad place to be.
It's helping to prevent a disaster with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow rocks touching the rings.
There are a lot of yellow rocks in play in the rings, absolutely.
One of the things that
and I can't tell.
One of the things newer skips can learn is sometimes it's not important to count who shot, but you might want to count how many rocks of your oppositions are in the rings compared to yours.
I think it's blue. I think blue's sitting one.
Yes. I think blue is definitely a shot.
Yep. I can see. See, Roger's taller. He can see over. I'm shorter. I have to look at the monitor.
I just look at the monitor because it's accurate.
Yeah, it's definitely better than my eye, certainly.
It looks a little, from our vantage point, we're looking at an angle down toward the house from the glass, and it's not quite as easy to tell. Compared to our previous cameras, these overheads, you can actually see the rocks instead of little fuzzy color blobs that are somewhere approximating where they are in the ice.
Well, my vision is usually just fuzzy covered blobs, so that's all I get. So, if you're Detroit, would you ever consider using that yellow to tap up your blue?
Absolutely. I think that's the shot.
Well, red's throwing now yellow, so we're gonna see what's what here. There are just as my attention span is kind of that of a squirrel. What else is new? I'm looking at sheet 4, and there are a boatload of blue rocks counting.
There are a ton.
7, if not 8. There are 8 rocks, 7 rocks counting.
There are.
But back to sheet 3, here's a beautiful shot from Katie Feldman. Just a little heavy. And unfortunately, it's
hard to tell. It's very close for shot.
But it's sticking out, so you can come with a little, if you can get to nose.
You can tap it back a little
You
bit.
and Jack tap them, I think, both back, and you might sit too. But here's the tricky part about this shot. You don't need a huge amount of weight. Back line, hack.
Back line, probably the most would be what I'd want to throw at this.
Right, you need it to move, but you do need the rocks that you're striking to move enough to be out of shot, out of counting. And if you do that, you'll have backing when the other team tries to remove your rock.
Yep, just an almost freeze would be perfect.
Yeah, a heavy freeze. Heavy draw is what I kind of broadly categorize this as. Now, of course, these are the ones I chronically overthrow, so yeah. I know what I want to throw. And here comes, this is a lot of weight. This is probably bumper.
So take out weight.
But this will curl.
Not moving yet.
Oh, it is. It is so moving.
Here it comes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's really close.
It's really close.
That's a beautiful shot.
That's a crowd pleaser.
That's a curling shot. Oh no. On sheet 4. On sheet 4, a red attempt at a takeout on the blue rock missed. On sheet 4, we have a free draw for an 8-ender.
We might have to.
We may have to briefly interrupt our coverage. We apologize to the Composite West, our wine country and Detroit fans, but I have never, in 23 years of curling, I have never been present for an 8-ender. I may or may not be present now, but we still have to see the last rock being delivered.
We're going to switch over to sheet 4.
So bear with
history.
us.
Could be history here.
And of course, everybody's got their cell phone cameras out, right? Okay.
No pressure, just a draw for 8.
Yeah. On sheet 3, we have Katie Feldman throwing a draw at the rock that Melissa Turbo just threw.
It's a ton of weight.
But it's a little too heavy, and it looks like a steal of 2. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, it's got to hit something. To quote our second, it needs to hit something to stay. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
Just overthrew it.
It's still 7, and that's the second 7-ender we've had to date.
Second 7-ender by this team today.
Oh, by this team.
How about that?
Oh, they had one today. Oh, so it's a third today then. Wow. So I was incorrect on sheet 3. Detroit has hammer. They're sitting 2. So we have a draw for 3. And the rock that Katie Feldman just threw was kind of an end saver. If that weren't there, it would be a shot for 4. Now, if Melissa can come around and tap that, get just a touch to the inside of that, not sure if you can. With a little bit of weight, I don't know if that back yellow rock can actually go. And we're getting our house cameras back for you.
Yeah, I lost my house cameras here.
Yep.
There they come. They're a little slow coming on board.
It looks like just a draw for 3 here. Oh no, it rolled off. We have little wiki tickies, and it's just 2. But it's a skip's deuce. Everything else is extra. It's gravy.
I don't know where our house cameras went.
Well, maybe they're tired too.
Back to the original thing, corner guards, the weak guy are not all they're racked up to be. The 4-foot circles where most times are one of us. So it's just, I'm going to live and die by it in the men's lab. Now, if we go for Sterling, we play in the skins game. Every end is a game, a little different animal. But you're still going for, still trying to control, much like a.
That's while we try to recover our cameras. I'll switch sheets here and see if we can come back.
All our money back except for gas.
We're going to do a slight technological reset.
That I was winded after one end of curling, which is not like me,
We know they work because we're looking at them in the
We got sheet
warm
4.
room.
That's sheet 4. So we're going to reload sheet 3.
Didn't feel well after. Needless to say, 3 weeks later, I was in a cath lab to open up an artery. They let me off the hook for playing as bad as I did. A bunch of guys. Great guys.
All right, Jenny's off throwing her first rock of end 5. And she looks like she's got a nice center guard developing.
End is sweeping.
She was a little tight and a little heavy.
7.
But yeah, that double was beautiful. That was a nice one.
Just rolled into the pile of back house weight.
Because they used to curl in back of the
Such a very Mike DeMeo had a chance to get one on a Friday night here a couple weeks ago. Really? And he decided not to throw it. Yeah. He didn't want to show the other person up. It's such a rarity in the game. You're supposed to go for it. That's what I told him. It's not like we're showing anybody up. It's just entirely. But it's just not. If you got a chance to get an 8-ender, you gotta go for it.
Okay. Leanne asked to draw around, and she drew beauty right to the top of the button. And the draw fest to the button is on. Jenny Levy asked to make a very typical mixed doubles type of shot. Corner freeze to the shot rock.
Tired doing nothing. Tired doing nothing.
I think she might be a little tight for line here.
Spray this knee in my hip after curling's done. Since you're not there anymore.
I may be back.
Get out.
We're thinking about it.
Okay.
If I am, I'll let you know.
Would you please?
And Roger's still working on the getting our house cameras back.
I should know in the next month.
Okay. Wouldn't be before. They got 3 weeks. Well, we got 2 weeks to curl.
And Leanne's being asked for another come around.
Text me one way or the other. I forget how long. Remember now, it's about 6 years ago that I came here. Believe that?
Is it really that long?
Yeah. Injected my elbow.
And those are a couple of pistols. Those are really nice.
MRI'd my knee.
She's got a slight rub off the one, which is going to make it probably a little easier to get to.
They're both behind T.
6 years, a long time.
Yep, no boom.
That's pretty fixable, though, right? How much time would I have to fix that if I lose?
And Stephanie is being asked for just the straight run back of the center guard that they put up.
But the issue is,
And as we all know, Stephanie can bring the weight, so this could be very good. Looks like she's a little inside the line that was called. So Melissa's going to go for some sort of B plan.
If you can, try to break it.
Half of me thinks that it's probably competitive.
Well, she did clear things away, so made the Composite West rocks a little more accessible. Katie says, I don't care. Draw one in.
get a good night's sleep early.
When you slide out, just don't grab it. You want to grab it back.
I'm going to go home, too, folks. I'll see you folks tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, safe.
And you want to hold the handle.
Bye-bye, folks.
And your announcer for tomorrow night, Dave Craig Nolan, has bid us all farewell so he can rest those golden pipes of his for tomorrow's webcast.
Well, you can You can do a tiny bit of the positive, you can do a tiny positive, but so when you're in the, what I did to separate myself
Is that them again here?
is I don't start with a soft
Hey.
I start with a straight up.
And we're asking for a takeout here, coming through that port. We will have to come with a little bit of weight. No, I apologize. I thought she was coming through. No, she's calling for the run back again.
Process of straightening your arm, and by the way, that's so I know when I'm feeling it, I'll do a little bit of a pause, but I'm still trying to as opposed to coming
This looks a little better, but I think it's over curling a touch. Yep, it's over curled a touch.
back of the handle and start with a straight arm.
When we're in league next, can you? Sure. I'll give it a try. I really want to get like more consistent though with like throwing bigger weights.
All right. We've got Eileen being asked again to come around. Actually, there's nothing to come around, so she's just throwing, probably throwing a guard. And it's coming. It's trying to come over behind the corner, and she does get it partially, but half buried behind that corner. But that does leave Detroit an opportunity to do a little cleanup on what we like to say cleanup on aisle 3. That's what we say our second cleanup on aisle 3 when he's got to move a bunch of rocks. And actually, this is Diana throwing this rock. If she gets a little bit of that, she gets a little bit of the higher rock, she might get the double. I need to get a little more of that top of the higher rock to get the full double.
I'm like unopposed to doing like weekend
And Megan's being asked for the hit. A good call here is probably to hit and stay, maybe even roll away from the center. Hammer team wants to keep that play away from the center. Team without hammer wants that play back into the center. This, however, is over curling. So she's actually going to roll toward the center somewhat. Oh, she's got less than half rock. She's going to roll pretty far. Actually, it's a pretty good roll. Barely buried. We've got 3 rocks taking shelter behind that lonely little corner.
No, it's the one further south that's going to the overlay.
If Detroit can get 1 rock in there, might be a little, not sure this is a, I would be more tempted to put a rock in as a counter. I don't have any extra rocks to play with here.
It's almost all the way into Delta. This is on the south. It's closer to
Yes, Donna, we can. I will update the other scores verbally for you while Roger works on getting those house cameras back.
Yeah, we may have to stop this stream and restart it.
All right, that was a good B plan. Let's clean. That was a cleanup on aisle 3. Went from sitting 3 to 1. That will limit the damage. Yes, Madison is up 7-2 over Composite, Wisconsin. Circle City took that big 7-under that we saw. They're up 8-3 over Bowling Green. And St. Paul is up 5-2 over Denver. Everybody is in their 5th end. Some are farther along than others.
it's a fenced in yard.
Megan's being asked to draw in the house. The sweepers aren't touching it. I wasn't really watching it, but watching it come down on our monitors here looks pretty good. It's actually a little deep. Blue has a bit of a pocket to come into if they choose. And I believe that is what she is choosing. She's going to draw into that pocket and negate it. She should negate at least one of those rocks. And if the shot is made well, it will be very difficult to remove it. Ah, one of my acolytes is just, I heard my favorite phrase, we have backing.
Realistically, like, do we even really want to do arena stuff? Because wouldn't that be more kind of like Jeremy's wife Melissa and Jen Aces and like that team?
I've gotten everything I want to get out of arenas. I got my bronze. And so
Rock looks not sure. It needs to curl a lot. It really needs to hook. I think she threw a little more weight than she intended. The rock she struck does look like it's out of the park. But it is close to the edge, and those are the rocks I always tell my third if it ever comes down to that you measure, but there is a closer counter, so it probably won't come down to that.
I mean, you can't even spare it. Right, for sure. I think you're right.
So Roger, you think we're going to restart the stream after this end?
Yep, I think we'll kill this stream at the end of the 5th end. And we'll try to restart and get our cameras back online.
And we look like we've just got to draw to the top 12 or draw a 2-shot rock. Those are the calls for Katie Feldman.
Okay, there's a lot. I was like, that's a retard team. No, it's not. Okay, here's, well, there's oh, this is Tammy's team.
And the sweepers are really working Katie's rock. They must think this is a little light for the intended outcome. And the third's coming up. Third needs exercise too. That's what my team says to me. Help, you need exercise. So I run out and I help. And of course, after the rock comes to a rest, I knew that they had it all along. So we're looking for a come around here from Melissa Turbo. She's not, she doesn't think this is going to curl very much. She's only taking about 2 feet of ice. 2 feet and change, Roger?
Not much.
Yeah, it seems a little tight, a little narrow for my liking, but I also haven't been watching the ice as keenly as she has, so she may know something that I'm not aware of here.
The tap's pretty long tap, but she should be able to curl behind it. Grab the back of the foot.
Starting to break. Oh, I believe it looks a little strong here. Yep. This one is a little strong. Just out the back line.
Draw for 2.
I would say they must not think that back yellow is a counter. Otherwise, you'd be hitting for possible 3.
Well,
It
looks off the rings on our overhead.
Yeah, it looks pretty off the rings. I mean, there's close and then there's not close. That's, to me, that is in the realm of not close. Yes, Donna, thank you. You are welcome, too, for tuning in. So do be aware after this throw, we will be restarting the web stream. So come right back. We will be here, hopefully with our other 2 overhead camera views
Back intact.
live for your viewing pleasure.
Look for draw 12, part B, when we restart.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll be able to.
Katie Feldman's rock is coming into the house here. Sweepers think it's pretty good. They're not touching it, and I will have to agree with them. It's pretty nice. Well done.
That's a deuce.
That's a skip's deuce.
All right, we'll be off the air for just a momentarily and look for us back on part B. We'll start up shortly.